When you join the army, when you're in that position, what does life look like? Because everybody has short, medium, and long-term plans. I'm sure at that time you weren't thinking, I want my own TV show, I want to write a book, I want to do this.
No.
Does that only come with maturity?
Well, I suppose it depends whether you've got an evolving mindset. Some people, they like to get into a comfort zone. They're happy there. They've worked hard to get there, don't get me wrong, but they're happy to go through life on autopilot. And it's not necessarily sitting in the military. I sat in the military game for 13 years. I went, I've done P Company, I've done the commando course, I was a sniper, special forces. I've sort of done the whole gig within the military. So once I exhausted that opportunity, that's when my mind was like, right, you need to do something else. You need to get an extra an extra string to your psychological bow. I remember thinking to myself, if I pass Special Forces selection, all I want is one stripe on my arm, a Lance Corporal rank, my beret, my belt, and that's me for life. Then you do that. Then you do one tour of Afghanistan. Then you do 2 tours of Afghanistan. Then you do 3 tours of Afghanistan. Then you do, you start to think, right, I've done it, been there, done it. Then everyone starts to pull out of Afghanistan. So it's like, right, I've got an opportunity now to get out and pursue another career. And also my mind was thinking, right, and you've ticked off that. You're capable of that. You're capable of this. Are you capable of this? And my next, are you capable of this, was Civvy Street. Have I got what it takes to survive in Civvy Street?
It's well documented now about people coming out of the military and struggling with Civvy Street or normal life. I guess the same as anything that's got that kind of thrill. And again, so much of what you say still comes back to the fight game, actually. And
yeah, absolutely.
People who have struggled so badly to come back to normality without the thrill. The one that always stands out is Ricky Hatton. A guy who just lived for the buzz of fight night, and thousands of fans from Manchester going on away days with him, and him sort of going out in Manchester. It's Ricky. Then ring walks, Vegas, and all of a sudden you take that thrill away, and something's missing, and that can be replaced either by projects, which in the way and challenges in the way that you've done it, or in some people's cases, booze, drugs, drugs, exactly, that kind of thrill. We see it in films, we see it in TV programs, but there is genuinely that major struggle for people to come back to normality.
Do you know what? I thought it'd be easy. I always hold myself accountable, and I always think to myself, I'm in control of my mind. So when I left, I thought, you know what? It's going to be quite easy. I'm just going to get out and, just fit in with society. That's ultimately what I wanted to do. But I found that a struggle. And what I mean by that is, in the military, you're indoctrinated in a certain way. The military world is different to civvy world. They are 2 different worlds completely. In the military, you're trained to deal with violence with extreme violence. If someone's violent to me on the battlefield, I have to counter that with extreme violence. It's kill or be killed. Well, in Civvy Street, if you're violent, you're going to end up one place. There's zero tolerance to violence in Civvy Street. So I found that out the hard way. It's like aggression as well. If someone's aggressive to me on the battlefield, I have to counter that with extreme aggression. You're aggressive to me, I have to be more aggressive. I have to be the alpha. I have to rip your head off before you rip mine off. Where in society, if you go into that code red aggression, you get classed as you need anger management. You've got anger issues. And it's like, so those are 2 things that I really, really struggled with. And I've always dealt with, violence with extreme violence. And the moment that I stepped out in Civvy Street and I dealt with violence with extreme violence, I ended up in prison.
BBC Sounds, music, radio, podcasts.